Rebels, foreign jihadists and government troops have been condemned by a UN report which found them all guilty of war crimes, including civilian massacres and indiscriminate shelling. Meanwhile, international mercenaries and militants continue to flood the country, convinced they're carrying out the will of God. But what forces men to such extremes? RT's Maria Finoshna has been investigating for us.
This may look like an ordinary farewell amongst friends, but the man in the lone Islamic coat is a suicide bomber, leaving on his final journey. This is his last conversation with his elder brother, in a car that is supposed to take him to the walls of the central prison in Aleppo, Syria, and then explode, sending him to paradise according to his beliefs. These clips were found on a laptop taken from one of the men seen in the footage, who is now in a Syrian prison. He calls himself Raushan and says he came to Syria from a former Soviet republic to fight.
A group called Murad approached me a year ago and convinced me that Muslims in Syria are being oppressed and killed, and that I should go and take up arms against Assad for world jihad and help establish a caliphate that will extend worldwide to Europe, America, and everywhere.
He sneaked into Syria last January through Turkey. In Istanbul, two men who said they were from Al-Qaeda met him and accompanied him to Syria, where he joined a large bombing brigade run by an Egyptian jihadist.
My job was mainly to prepare bombs for cars. There were many people, all from different countries. Our teachers showed us how to make bombs, which ingredients to use, and how exactly to cook it.
One of his recent assignments was an Aleppo prison bombing last May. The man you saw in the farewell video was driving the car that Raushan prepared. Raushan brought his entire family to Syria, including his 5-year-old son. On this video, the militant shows his boy how to make a bomb. They say after a father dies, the son should continue the jihad.
I don't know what Allah prepared for me, but we have to finish what we started.
We spoke to Raushan at the Air Force intelligence jail next to a military airport in Damascus. These are the cells. Can we open? The prisoners here are mainly charged with either terrorism or spying. This newly built unit can accommodate up to 200 people, and already it's almost full. In the jail's backyard, an officer tells us not to get too close, as the prisoners could be dangerous. There are people here from Syria, Yemen, Iraq, Jordan, Egypt and Palestine, but many came from Europe as well. Algerian with a French passport, Amer has spent most of his life in France, where he married a French woman and lived a normal life. That changed after he was recruited by an Islamic group with Al-Qaeda ties, calling for jihad in Syria.
I volunteered. I went to Turkey. In a refugee camp there, I met a Salafi group, and I trained with them for about 2.5 months, and then we illegally crossed the border into Syria.
Amir says, as a Salafi, a fundamental Muslim, he had to get involved.
I saw my Sunni Syrian brothers suffering here. I saw on Al Jazeera, Al Arabiya and other channels that kids are also suffering. I took up arms and I was ready to use them, but when I came here, I didn't see the enemy.
In a separate building, they show us weapons, including handmade bombs and grenades seized from militants. These are the instruments of global jihad that chose Syria as a battlefield to bring foreign fighters and violence. This prison may be full, but beyond the walls, many men with many causes remain free to continue their fight. Maria Finoshna, RT, Damascus, Syria.